Hi guys, welcome back to the Light Finance Global YouTube channel. It's my pleasure to be with you again. We've seen recently Amazon and Apple earnings reports. So I'm going to try to make the price prediction for both as well as to show you some trading strategies. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so let's start with Apple. We've seen recently the earnings reports, EPS 126 versus 119 estimation, but well, iPhone revenue, Mac revenue, iPad revenue all down. Only other products revenue and services revenue been up. So we recently seen some kind of the rejection when it comes to the price of the Apple. So let's have a look what we have, especially when it comes to the Apple medium long term. Let's try to make some kind of the prediction and try to find some trading strategy. So we know about the split, that's how the things looks like, that's the weekly chart, and recently we've seen quite nice uptrend, especially when we moved through 170, we hit the levels close to 200. Since then, the trend line been broken most recently, right? Last week. I'm not sure when you are going to watch this video. So looks like the situation is very similar to what we've seen here on the ending week of the October, right? We then seen the retest, so I would expect some kind of the retest, maybe around 190, 200, and then I would look for the lower levels, and I would look for 175, 170. If we see the deterioration of the sentiment of the market, we might see even lower levels. Then we might have from the low retest of 175, and we might have 155, 150. I don't think as of now we are going to go much lower. So basically, taking into the consideration the levels we were discussing right here, right now, medium long term, I would be very cautious when it comes to the buying right now. I would wait and see what's going to happen around 175, 170, and if we are going to break lower, what's going to happen around 154, 155. If we are going to hold the zone over here, that's fine. We may try to scale in the medium and long term. Shorter term, well, if you are looking to find the possibility to try to short the Apple, so as I mentioned, we had a late October very similar situation. Strong drop, move higher, and then rejection. The same here, strong drop, move higher, retest, and move lower. So that's how I see from the weekly chart perspective. Daily, as you can see, very strong break to the downside. I would say that we might try to close the gap we have here and move a little bit higher, 190 as I mentioned, maybe 195, and then you may want to try to short it. From that perspective, from the daily chart perspective, we have this consolidation over here around 175, 170 as I mentioned, and then again we have nice break around 155, 150, those two levels the same as on the weekly chart. Alright, so that was the Apple. Let's move over to Amazon. So there you go. Compared to the Apple, Amazon reports blowout profit, beats on sales, and what was very important when it comes to the latest price action, the Amazon issues optimistic guidance, right? So that's very, very important from that perspective, and well, it looks like the company showed a return to double-digit revenue growth. So that's very important, but I would be very, very cautious with this very optimistic guidance, and we are going to discuss it right here, right now. So let's have a look what we have from the Amazon chart perspective. Okay, so there you go. That's the daily chart, and very nice gap to the upside, as you might see over here, right? But what is important in my opinion is a very similar price action we've seen with the April. There was a quite nice trending line to the upside. All right, let's make it in details, let's make it clearly visible for you. So that was the line, and as you can see, we already had a problem with this line around the level related to 135, 136. All right, so now even with this huge gap, what the first thing first is the market, okay, sorry, the market is respecting the gap, as you can see over here. Okay, huge gap, but very huge respect when it comes to the line. So I think that closing the gap could be the name of the game, and pullback down to 129 could be in place. If the market sentiment is going to be much lower, and we are going to see some kind of the bigger pullback on the market, the next buying level or target for shorts is around 118, and the last one here I would be very cautious and curious to see is around 110, maybe psychological level 100. So let's try to summarize it. If you are looking for a short opportunity and overall market sentiment is going to worsen, then any kind of the retest of 141, 142 with the stop above the trend line based on the closing prices, that's very important, could be the name of the game, with the first target around 130, 129. If we are going to see move deeper, the next stop should be around 118. If you are the buyer, on the other hand, then these levels are your buying opportunities, right? From the buying opportunity, this is the zone in between 129 and 126, then lower down towards 117, and again 110 and psychological level 100. Overall, based on what we've seen when it comes to the earnings report, looks like it might be a big challenge to try to short Amazon in a medium and long term. I would rather focus on buying the sharp dips. Short term, yes, return to the trend line, return to 142 could be the short term selling opportunity. With that being said, guys, wish you great next trading session. As usual, this video has educational purpose only. Be careful, do your own research before you are going to risk your hard-earned money. All the best, see you around, take care, and goodbye.